where do I get started if I don't have any experience at all? Now, you could be students, you could be teens, which is a lot of my demographic. Some of you are career shifters, like you already had some experience but in a different field. Hey there, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, my goal at the end of this video is to show you how you can get experience when you don't have any experience at all when it comes to working online. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Lacaba. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old and now run my own outsourcing company here in the Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, for a lot of you guys who stumble on my channel, you guys ask me the question a lot of where do I get started if I don't have any experience at all? Now, you could be students, you could be teens, which is a lot of my demographic. Some of you are career shifters, like you already had some experience but in a different field, or new graduate, you just want to get started working online. And if you are, this is for you. Now, like I said, I started working from home when I was 15, so I had experience a lot. And since then, I've learned a lot of different skills. But even if you don't have experience right now, that's something that we're going to remedy at the end of this video. So make sure to watch until the end for the full list of the different ways to get experience so you can already get started working online. Now, the first way that you can get experience, and I know not a lot of people will agree with me on this, is to work for free. What I mean by that is offer your services for free. So let's say you are an aspiring graphic artist, aspiring writer, then you want to go on Facebook, on Reddit, anywhere else, and I have a full video of where to find jobs online, and just post, hey, I am a writer, I'm looking for experience. Any of you guys, want some free work, basically, and then if you have like past works that you can show off, maybe that. If you don't have at all, that's probably already fine. There's a ton of people who are looking for your skills, and maybe they're not sure about hiring someone with that skill, or they just need something, done and done. Then you can offer your services to them. Now, I remember for me, when I started going into creating more graphics, that's actually what I did. Of like, hey, does anyone want to get a logo done or a banner done for Facebook? Because at that time, that was way back in 2012, where Facebook was really new. They just put in the cover photo. So I offered my services to create cover photos for different people for free. And since then, I've been able to, of course, learn how to make cover photos better. And now I get to the point where I'm hiring other people to create cover photos for me. So that doesn't have to be the level that you go into, but that is where I also started. I did a lot of free work for different people, sometimes my own mom, if she needed something for work. So you can start with that, because as you start working for free, we go into the next step, which is building your portfolio. So this is something that I have seen a lot, especially with more creative work or creative jobs, is when you offer your services for free, you can even say, hey, I'm building my portfolio right now. Could you help me out? Now, I already have, again, a full video on how to create your digital portfolio. But for this one, what I mean is build up, your works, find different prompts, maybe find people who said, hey, I need a writer for this, offer your services. So, hey, write something up for them, create the graphic for them, and then you can get feedback. That's the cool thing about offering your services for free, is usually employees are more than happy to give you feedback of like, hey, this sucked, you should work on this. And then, of course, moving forward, you get that knowledge, that wisdom of what is right or what people don't like, and then what people like. So start by building your portfolio, start creating, different things that you would do for yourself. So one of the things that if I was starting from scratch, if I had no experience at all, is I would just literally go on Google and search, writing prompts for bloggers or writing prompts for travel bloggers, make it specific as you want. It'll give you kind of that practice, basically, of what it would look like once you're actually working with someone else, because they're giving you instructions on how to do a certain task. So then you can go with it and run with it. And with that, with building your portfolio, we go into the third tip, which is basically work for yourself. What I mean by work for yourself is imagine that you were your own client. Imagine that as you are starting your freelance journey, what are different things that you would need from someone else? Now, I know this is a bit of a weird exercise, but try to imagine it of what would be the things that you would need to set up to be able to get this person. So what are the tools that you'll need? What are the a brand kit, a brand guide for yourself, for your own personal personal brand. So for example, for me, I've done this a lot myself, where I would think of like, hey, I want to create a personal brand in this way. So throughout my whole life, I've had 3 brands. One was the cringy one that I had in high school, which was the Imperfect Princess. I also have had the Traveling Pygmy when I was traveling around a lot. So because I've had those, I've built up my own personal brand, then I would be creating graphics. I would be creating blog posts for myself. I would be creating, different assets to kind of show people like, hey, this is me. This is who I want to be known for. So that's what I mean by work for yourself. Build on your personal brand, because later on, it's going to be so much easier to get your clients as you build up. So you're kind of laying down the groundwork, the foundation, as you are still in the beginning stages of your freelance career. Next thing that you can do to gain experience is to learn new skills. Now, I'm still surprised that not a lot of people know about this, but you can literally learn anything on YouTube, on Udemy. There's a ton of free courses out there you don't have to pay for. You can literally, if you can't find a full course on it, you can literally just do like small snippets of videos as you're learning something. So it could be that, let's say you're learning how to use WordPress. Get a video that's the basics of WordPress. Write down all of the points that they have on each of those videos. Maybe 10 things that you should know about WordPress. Write down those 10 things and then research every single one on that list. And then I guarantee you're going to be learning a lot. And at the end of that, you probably learn enough that you could actually launch your own WordPress page. So try to find different courses again, or mentors such as me, where you can start building your experience online. There's a lot of places that you can do certifications on, and if you guys have the budget, I do have a whole course on Work From Home 101. I'll put in the link below. But basically, you want to find courses that will give you a really good overview of what it looks like if you actually work as a graphic artist, as a video editor, to give you that sense of like, oh, this is what it looks like. Another way that you can build experience is to take live online classes. So one of the best examples I usually have for this is actually Canva. So Canva, you guys have heard me talk about Canva in a lot of my videos, and you should check out a full video that I did on different ways that you can use Canva for your work. Is they offer, every month they have a free online class where you actually get to interact with the teacher, with the students. So try to find those free online classes that's actually live, because it will give you a different sense of the skill. You can actually ask questions and get them answered. You can actually get the group mind of everyone else who's there, who was attending, and ask them questions of like, hey, do you have an experience on this? Do you have an experience on that? So it just gives you more context about how a certain thing works. And the fun thing is, as you're starting to take online classes, as you're learning new skills, these are now things that you can start adding into your resume, that you took this training, that you took this course, you took this skill. And for an employer, even if you have no experience, if you show me that you actually put in the effort to learn more about this certain skill, then in my head, I'm like, they're going to show up this way when I hire them. So I want this person. So just keep that in mind, that you need to always be constantly upgrading your own skills, even if you have no experience in it at all. That way you can also know, again, do I really want to be a video editor, or do I want to be more of a graphics person? It gives you that clarity as you go through the skills and the online training. Now, speaking of training, another way that you can gain experience if you don't have any experience is actually getting a mentor or working with a mentor. So there's different ways that you can do this. There are different places where you can actually get mentorship programs. Now you might be wondering, how will I get experience working with a mentor? Well, in this case, you're kind of becoming their assistant in this way. And what this can look like is you can ask them like, hey, is there anything that you can give me tips on because I want to go into this industry? And then later on you can ask like, hey, and any tasks that you might want to pass on to me, just so I can see how this works. And then eventually it'll get to the point where like, hey, feel free to give me any tasks that you have, again, working for free. You don't have to pay me for any of them, as long as there's value for us to be able to keep having this mentorship relationship. So you are giving value to them by working for free, by giving them things that might be overwhelming them. And of course, at the same time, they're mentoring you, giving you feedback on how you can do better. And there's a ton of people, YouTube, TikTok, there's a lot of people who are going to be more than willing to be your mentor to help you out. Sadly, I'm not one of them, just because I have my own business. But again, you guys can watch other videos of mine, my Instagram Instagram, my TikTok, I do have a lot of tips in there. But you want to find someone maybe local who can guide you, who can help you out, and at the same time you're giving value by helping them with little things that they're doing in their work. Speaking of helping someone out for free, you can also do volunteer or internship work if you don't have any experience. And a lot of companies do jump into this because there's going to be tasks, small tasks, one-off tasks that they don't really necessarily want to get to, or these are what I call the important and not urgent tasks, where they need to get done, but everything else is urgent right now, so we're focusing on this. So when you come in as an intern or a volunteer, you're helping them get that load so then they can actually get done. So you can go ahead and find different companies, maybe online, where you can ask like, hey, I saw you guys are doing this. Is it okay if I apply as an intern? You can say, I can offer this for free or for the minimum wage, just as I would like to just gain experience. That in itself will be such a powerful way to have you just get started with a career. And if you do a good enough job, you might just end up working with them. Now, the next way that you can gain experience when you don't have any experience is to create content. Now, I talked about this a little bit when I talked about building, working for yourself, building a personal brand. What I mean by this is one of the fastest ways that you can build experience is creating content for yourself. So I talked about, like I said, a little bit when it comes to building a portfolio, but write for yourself. If you're a writer, create graphics for yourself. Make it something that you actually like doing and doing for fun instead of something that you're doing for work, because then it's going to be so much easier for you to gain that experience, to have some output. So what I mean by creating content isn't just about writing, creating videos, doing graphics. It's also maybe even teaching other people how to do what you do, because this is one of the fastest ways that you can become an expert in something, is teaching it to someone else. So try to think in your day-to-day, how do you do a certain thing? It might seem so basic for you, but like, how do you start creating a blog post? Create a blog post on how to create a blog post, because then you're showing your expertise, again, even though you don't have an actual work experience just yet. But at the same time, you're practicing, you're showing off your knowledge, and you're building, again, that personal brand. Now, one of the biggest ways and fastest ways that you can actually gain experience is building your own business. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds weird. But I have hired a lot of business owners inside of our company to become an actual assistant, and they have so far been one of the most amazing hires that we always get. It's because they have that mindset already, that entrepreneur mindset, that things can go wrong, things can go hayside. And if you venture into starting your own business, you are going to grow your experience really, really fast, because you will have to wear multiple hats. You will have to be the marketer, the salesperson, the bookkeeping person. If you don't have anyone for that yet, you end up becoming the person who file your own taxes. You have to be the person who will take care of everything else inside of your business, because that's what you have to do. So try to think of what are different ways that you can start a business, whether that is selling maybe old clothes of yours online and making that into a business, maybe selling books. I've done that before myself. Maybe it's selling a particular product. I've sold bookmarks before. So a lot of the ways that I've been able to gain experience within myself on something totally new is just by building a business around it. It's just by selling something online, whether that is a product or a service. So then I can see behind the scenes, like, oh yeah, we have to take care of this, we have to take care of that. So try to think about it like, what is a business? What is a small enough business that I can start, that I can practice on? Because then once I actually start looking for a job, they'll see, hey, business owner for this particular thing, and this is how I was able to do it. Now, you definitely don't have to start a business just to gain experience, but it is a way that you definitely can, because you get to see behind the scenes of how a business is started and grow. Now, another interesting way that you can gain experience if you don't have experience is then signing up for agencies, trying to find work within different outsourcing agencies like ours. By the way, still hiring, 2x2.com/hiring. But basically, what I mean by applying for outsourcing agencies is most of the time they will have a structure on how to train you if you are interested in a particular skill, or if you have some background on a particular skill. Now, it's true, not a lot of agencies will hire someone on the spot, especially if they have no experience, but you can, and you are open to try, because when you work with these agencies, you have that structure, you have that training, you have that background, and probably the community to be able to help you gain that experience that you need, that later on, if you do want to venture off and be your own freelancer, you can now do so, because you've gotten that first taste of experience. Now, if you guys like this video, of course, make sure to hit that thumbs up button right there and comment below, what are the different ways that you have gained experience? Or better yet, what is the skill that you've always wanted to gain experience on? And if you still haven't, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday. And you guys can check out my top playlists right here and the latest video right here. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!